Well, Tesla thinks it would be great for Apple to enter the electric car business. WHA's Mike Ramsey was on the earnings call with CEO Elon Musk, and he joins us with the details. Good morning, Mike.
Morning.
So, Mike, Elon says he wouldn't mind some company like Apple in the electric car business. Tell us about that.
Well, if you believe Elon Musk, his entire thesis for Tesla is to rapidly spread the use of electric vehicles through the entire world. In fact, he was in Detroit in January, and basically his message was to the other automakers, come on, put out some more electric vehicles. You're not trying hard enough. The globe is warming, and we need to, get off of fossil fuels. So from a philosophical standpoint, that's probably, there's hard to quibble. It's hard to quibble with that. From an actual standpoint, I wonder how much that's just bravado, because Apple obviously would compete with Tesla for market share, but also human capital. They're both in the same area, and there's been well documented people exchange, mostly from Apple to Tesla, but also some the other direction.
Indeed. So the competition within the companies would be intense. Tell us more about the poaching that's going on and what Elon has to say about it.
I'm sorry. I
about some of the poaching between employees.
I'm sorry.
What's happening and how Elon's dealing with that.
What he said was, he was asked about this specifically, and he basically said that there's 5 times as many people coming from Apple to Tesla than the other way around. Given the size of Apple and size of Tesla, that sort of makes sense fundamentally. But the question was posed because Apple continues right now. Apple's car project, which, by the way, they haven't actually acknowledged, is still relatively small. It's in the hundreds of people. But you get the sense that from the people that Tesla has lost and the people that Apple are hiring, that this sort of thing could accelerate. So right now he says, bring it on. We'll see what happens down the road.
Tesla reported earnings yesterday. Revenues climbed nicely, but losses widened. What does that tell us about the challenges and opportunities facing the company?
I think this morning you're really seeing there was a lot of jubilance last night during the earnings call because they had better than expected performance, actually, both on revenues. Their losses were smaller than forecast on an adjusted basis. They talked about their storage business, battery storage business being, having a giant response. It was all positive. But when you looked at the numbers, there were some pretty frightening things there. They're burning cash at an extremely fast rate. Just saying $500 million in cash burn you don't know how big is Tesla. Well, to put it another way, Tesla burned 1/4 of their entire cash reserves in the quarter. And so if they continue at the pace they're at right now, in 9 months, they will have 0 cash.
Wow.
Now, we assume that they won't continue at that pace. No business would just keep spending money at that rate. They would take corrective action and limit their spending if it really got down to it. But at some point you have to ask, are they going to have to raise more capital, or are they going to have to pull back on their spending plan? That what it really says, and a lot of the analysts are saying this, is that they have to execute and put out this Model X SUV later this summer without problems. And that's actually been difficult for them. They haven't shown that they can effectively launch vehicles and do it without hiccups yet. So far, that has not been their expertise. Their expertise has been putting out a vehicle that's really awesome, fun to drive, and has neat features. But manufacturing has not been one of the things that they've done exceptionally well.
Well, Wall Street will be watching closely. Thanks so much, Mike.